Hey, 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 Daryl here, and this is my daily devotional, the home edition. Nothing's more exciting in the ministry than to fill your building to capacity when it's worship time. To need to go into a building program. Those are exciting times in the ministry. Folks are being saved and baptized, and there's growth going on that's obvious. Those are exciting times. The Lord let me experience this once in the ministry back in the early 90s while I pastored a church in southeastern Kentucky. We filled that building to capacity. We even tried the 2 worship service concept. And the early service would fill about half of the sanctuary, and the second service would still go to capacity. So we went into a building program, and it was an exciting time, and God blessed, and we baptized many folks. Wonderful times, and today sitting at the prominent intersection in that county sits a beautiful building. Mind you now, that's been about 25 years ago. Well, they had this exact same account here in 2 Kings chapter 6. The space that they were meeting in for worship had been outgrown, and they needed to go into a building program. Listen as I read in 2 Kings chapter 6, verse 1. The company of the prophets said to Elisha, "Look, the place where we meet with you is too small for us." They had outgrown their meeting place. And so they needed to go into a building program. And so they say to Elisha, "Let's go to the Jordan River and cut down some poles and build a larger place for our assembly." And that's exactly what they do. They go and they say, "Elisha, you're going to come with us, aren't you?" And Elisha says, "Well, sure, I'm going to come along." And so I'm reading now in verse 5. They went to the Jordan and began to cut down trees. As one of them was cutting down a tree, the iron axe head fell into the water. "Oh, my Lord," he cried out, "it was borrowed." The man of God asked, "Where did it fall?" When he showed him the place, Elisha cut a stick and threw it in there and made the iron float. "Lift it out," he said. Then the man reached out his hand and took it. So they are in the need of a larger assembly place. So they go to the Jordan. They're cutting down the poles. One fella had an axe head he was using that was borrowed, and it came off the handle and fell in the water. Now that may not make a lot of sense to us, but in that day and age, something like an iron axe head would have been very valuable. And so Elisha, understanding the value of that axe head, and understanding that that axe head had been borrowed and that this individual would never be able to pay back that axe head lost, he performs this miracle, dropping a stick where the axe head went in and causing that axe head to float. Here's the point. God is a God of details. And when I reflect back on the building project, the details were in perfection. Every detail. Even in the building project during Elisha's time, building a larger space for them to worship, God was involved in the details, down to a lost axe head. Listen, folks, pray for the miracle of God to anoint our churches so that we see buildings being built to encompass the large congregations, and know that God is involved in the details. God bless you. Good day.